Welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back to the channel, guys. Coming up today, we are going to be talking full-on internationals because there is so much to discuss. Over in South America, Lionel Messi's Argentina coming through against Colombia in their semi-final after a penalty shootout, and what a shootout it was. So many individual battles. Messi so riled up. We are going to be talking all about that in detail. And on the other side of things, over in Europe, live from Wembley Stadium, we are going to be discussing Spain's agonising defeat to Italy, but the real positives that they can take from that, and our very own Pedri, Busquets, ALBA, and Eric Garcia, all of those players and their tournaments discussed. It's coming right up, because what a night for Messi, and what a tournament for young Pedri. Let's get to it. Because if we do indeed start with Copa America and the semi-final there between Argentina and Colombia, because certainly this game was going to be very, very close, very, very nervy. We've seen that right the way through these latter stages of the Copa America, not just with Argentina, but also with Brazil, who only narrowly got past Peru the previous evening. But it was a really, really good start of the game from Argentina, as they have done now, right the way through the tournament. They got themselves off the mark very, very quickly, with Lionel Messi there, as always, very much involved. If he's not scoring, you can guarantee he's going to be assisting. He was teeing up there, LAUTARO Martinez, very close in front of goal. Good finish to the goalkeeper's left-hand side. Argentina there with the lead against Colombia within just 7 minutes. However, I do have to say that it was not Argentina's most convincing performance, because over the past few games, they have shown a real willingness to go and score more and more goals. But against Colombia, I think they just got a little bit tight, a little bit nervous there about the fact that they were so close to reaching that all-important Copa America final, and in the second half Colombia did get their equalising goal, and from then on in it was always going to be whether or not they could take that big chance that came their way. LAUTARO Martinez was the man once again in that second half that had the chance there to kill the game and win it for Argentina, but it was a big miss from him, which basically meant that Argentina-Colombia went straight to penalty kicks, and this was always going to bring huge excitement, but also nerves. And indeed, Colombia there in the shootout went first, with Juan Cuadrado scoring his penalty there, putting Colombia ahead. And as always in penalty shootouts, Lionel Messi leading by example. It's easy there to go and take, if you want, the glory penalty, the final penalty there, when everybody else has done their job and you can score the one that makes you look good. But Messi, as the captain, as the leader, stepping up first for his team, leading by example. And you could see him there, he had a blooded sock, he'd been kicked all game, the pressure was high, but an absolutely brilliant penalty from Messi, sending Ospina, who as we know is a top quality goalkeeper, especially in these situations, sending Ospina the wrong way. Messi equalising there in the shootout. Argentina off the mark. After those opening successful penalties, there was 2 missed there by Colombia, and then from Argentina. First of all, Davinson Sanchez was denied by Emiliano Martinez, and then Rodrigo de Paul put his penalty over the bar. But then it really started to get very, very interestingly, because obviously inside there, the stadiums, there's no fans. So what you can actually hear, given the fact there they were able to pick up the audio from this shootout, was Emiliano Martinez, who's been so good and so reassuring there as Argentina's goalkeeper in this tournament. You could hear him trash-talking there, the Colombia players stepping up to take their penalty kicks, and he was really doing his absolute maximum, everything in his power to put them off. He was talking there about Yerry Mina laughing. He was saying, you know what, you're nervous? You're feeling nervous? I think you are feeling nervous. Yerry Mina there trying to hold it all together, but he missed his penalty. Brilliant save there from Emiliano Martinez. And of course, let's not forget that in the last round, Yerry Mina there scored in the shootout against Uruguay, and then rather curiously proceeded to celebrate as if he'd scored an actual goal during the game. He pulled out a whole dance there. He was moving around. All the while, the penalty shootout there was continuing to go on, but this time he missed. And then the camera cut to Messi, and he was actually there so animated. I've never seen Messi this animated before. He was shouting, "Dance now! Dance now!" to Yerry Mina. He was saying, "You're not dancing anymore, are you?" Messi, so involved here for Argentina. Emiliano Martinez was absolutely sensational sensational in this penalty shootout there in terms of psyching out his opponents, making brilliant saves. And when it came down to it, Colombia could not handle it, with Paredes and LAUTARO Martinez scoring for Argentina, and Yerry Mina's miss there, along with Cardona's miss, meant that Argentina reached the Copa America final. Huge congratulations there, of course, to Messi. An amazing moment there. You could see how much it means to him reaching that final now. Another opportunity to win that title that he so desperately craves with Argentina. And what a moment for Emi Martinez, brought in this summer. What a great decision that was. This man is top quality. And on Saturday, at the Maracanã Stadium, it's Brazil against Argentina. But indeed, yesterday, it was contrasting emotions for our Barcelona players in terms of penalty shootouts, because if we do cross over now back to Europe and live from Wembley Stadium, Italy, they're taking on Spain in the Euro 2020 semi-final. And I do have to say, regardless of any result, this was an absolutely fantastic game there, played at a brilliant intensity. I thought Spain throughout this match were outstanding. I really did. I thought they were the better team. I thought they were the ones there on the front foot trying to make something happen. Their passing was outstanding. They're winning the ball back so quickly. They limited Italy there solely to counter-attacking moves, and they were very unlucky not to win this game, because although Alvaro Morata climbed off the bench, scored the equalising goal for Spain on the day, it was his penalty miss in the shootout there, along with Dani Olmo, which meant that Italy are the team there who are going to be heading to the Euro final. But I thought there that Luis Enrique, right throughout this tournament, Spain have grown. They've shown they've got a young team, they've got inexperienced players, but they are really impressive what they're building there, and Luis Enrique has done an absolutely fantastic job. And you just imagine this team when somebody there like Ansu Fati is in that final third, finishing off the chances that Spain have been missing right throughout this tournament. Everything, though, apart from the final touch, has been so good from them. But I want to talk there about our Barcelona players and exactly what they've given and how they've shown themselves right throughout the tournament for Spain, starting there with Jordi Alba. I think he's had a very solid tournament for Spain. I think he's actually done well to convince Luis Enrique. He's felt as though there he's had to really earn the trust again of Lucho, something that, to be honest, I wish that he was forced to do at Barca. I wish that Jordi Alba felt the pressure of somebody there underneath him, like Jose Gaya, for instance, who could come and take his place. I thought he was very good going forward at Euro 2020. He was important there in Spain's attacking play, and I was also pretty happy to see him there with the armband at times, you know, showing a little bit of leadership. Again, something that I'd like to see him show more now, given the fact that he's beyond 30. He's got plenty of experience. He should be showing leadership in a Barcelona shirt, and Jordi Alba there should try and take all of that back into his club form. And then, of course, there is Eric Garcia, our brand new centre-back signing, arriving on a free from Man City. And I have to say, you know, he had to compete this tournament with Aymeric Laporte and Pau Torres to get into that Spain defence, and he managed it. He did really well there, competing against two very good centre-backs. So to see Luis Enrique selecting Eric Garcia, putting the faith in him for a semi-final match against Italy, that is going to give him huge confidence. I thought he played well. I thought his passing was really good. It was very progressive. He took risks. He was certainly somebody there who wasn't feeling any pressure. And at just 20 years old, to play on that stage and play in that way is very encouraging indeed. The only criticism maybe that you'd have is for Chiesa's goal. He let him come inside, he didn't really get close enough to him. He let him cut in on that right foot. But that's something there that he's going to learn from. That's what these big moments will give you. Opportunities there to see where in your game you've got to improve. And Eric Garcia is going to use all of that knowledge to hopefully help him become the player that clearly he can be. Sergio Busquets as well, I thought was absolutely outstanding. I've got to say, right from the moment there that he was finally allowed to be involved at Spain, of course he missed the first two games due to COVID, and Spain really missed him. You look at the difference there in those opening two games to what we saw after from Spain, with Busquets at the base of that midfield. It is night and day. Busquets there was absolutely outstanding in that midfield, alongside Pedri, those two really cutting teams apart, and that is so encouraging to see. Bearing in mind that Busquets in the second half of last season, I thought he definitely improved. He raised his level. We need to see that now in a Barca shirt, because if we do, he can make a huge difference. But finally, we do have to talk about Pedri. We have to talk about this 18-year-old, because that's all I've heard. That is all I've heard here. Not necessarily from fans of Barca, but fans from outside, people who may not have seen Pedri throughout the season. They can't believe what they're seeing. They cannot believe the kind of level This 18-year-old who's playing here at his first major championships, he's playing in a semi-final like it's nothing. He does not feel pressure. He doesn't seem to feel tiredness. He is an absolute credit to this club, and we're also excited. Watching him there at Wembley yesterday, he was cutting Italy apart, he was weaving his way through their midfield. Experienced players that Italy have, but he was absolutely fantastic. And Luis Enrique, after the game, he said, I've never, ever seen anything like this before. He said even Don Andres, talking there about Andres Iniesta, he said even he couldn't do this at this age. Pedri is simply extraordinary, and we should all appreciate what he's given us during this tournament. And I just think there, it is so exciting that we have a young player of this quality. And you think there about the way that him and Busquets have controlled that midfield, the quality they've shown for Spain right throughout this tournament. You add then the influence of Frenkie de Jong, what we saw from him with the Dutch national team. Those three as a trio, there's no excuses. In a Barcelona team, you should be dominating every game from start to finish. Your midfield should be strangling the opponents with those players in there. And I have to say now, forget about the system. Forget about what should work or what does work, what doesn't work. If your system doesn't allow Pedri, De Jong, Busquets to show that quality, then your system, it's not worth knowing. Those are top quality players, and from what we've seen of them in this tournament for their countries, you would find it very difficult to find a better midfield trio in the entirety of world football. We have that, so let's use it, and let's see that next season. So that right there, guys, is the update on the international stage. Lionel Messi's Argentina are through to the Copa America final. I will be bringing you some build-up to that huge game against Brazil that is coming this weekend. Very exciting days to come. Please do let me know your thoughts as well on Spain's elimination, and especially what you made of the likes of Pedri and indeed Busquets in that midfield, Eric Garcia and Jordi Alba. Let me know all those thoughts down below. Thanks as always, guys, for tuning in for the video. I will be seeing you soon with plenty more to come, but until next time, as always, Vizca, El Barça.